As humans, we are all given to feeling anxious in certain situations, but many of us are able to just go through that experience and then overcome that and get on with our lives. But for some of us, anxiety is the way we deal with things day in, day out. Anxiety is chronic, and that is something that at one point we realize, hey, you know what, we need to get through this or get out of this mindset because it is not really helpful. And one of the things we wonder or scratch our heads about when we deal with this is, how did I end up becoming like this in the first place, right? What are the roots of my anxiety? What made anxiety my natural response or my second nature? Now, this particular presentation is an appeal to significant elders, especially parents in the lives of children. But I am going to disclaim certain things. Anxiety is not an exclusive condition that is caused by childhood experiences alone. It can happen at any time. As with most other psychological phenomena or conditions or experiences we have, anxiety is shaped by a combination of our genetic predisposition. Some of us are at risk biologically, our personality, and the environment that we grow up in. Right? The reason why I'm placing this appeal to parents and elders is because in childhood, if a child is made to go through experiences of anxiety, either directly or by observing the models in their lives, namely the parents, teachers, etc., right, they are going to be at a greater risk of becoming chronically anxious, and hence the appeal, because we have an opportunity to be responsible elders or aware elders and nip it in the bud, right? So let's take a scenario as an example to make it easy on ourselves, right? Let's say I have a child, right? I'm a parent, and my child comes running to me and says, hey, you know what, today I'm going to participate in a recitation and I'm so excited about it in school, right? So there are two ways I can respond to it. The first one is like this, right? That's amazing, that's great news, all the best. Go ahead and have fun, enjoy yourself, and come and tell me in the evening how it went. Now the child is probably going to say, yeah, I'm going to enjoy. You know how I've already made a little puppet, or I've made a chart, or I'm going to dress up like this, or I'm going to add on some gestures and some dance postures when I recite the poem or narrate the story. Right? And we'll be amazed to think the child has thought through all of this, and it's nothing to be surprised, because children are very naturally curious and exploratory. So they'll figure out ways to deal with these things. Or even if they haven't thought through these, because we said enjoy, they are going to harness their curiosity and find out ways to enjoy. And most importantly, it takes away the performance pressure from them. So we are teaching the child to look at possibilities of how they can enjoy, right? Or we are kindling in them the curiosity to make sure that they think of what all they can do to enjoy it. The other way I can deal with the situation is I can ask the child, right? Have you memorized all your lines? Okay, what will you do if you forget any line? Do you have a slip of paper? Okay, fine. Have you asked all your friends if you have to prepare any chart, or you have to take any toys, or you have to make some gestures along the way when you recite? So now suddenly what I'm doing is I'm showing the child what are the various possibilities in which, or ways in which this could go wrong. Correct? My intention is still to ensure that my child performs well, right? I don't have any malicious intentions. I don't want to scare the hell out of my child, but I'm doing it because I am naturally given to being anxious about situations. Now, what the child in this case does is it starts evaluating, he or she starts evaluating what are the various things that could go wrong, and quite possibly they might find ways to address it and still perform well. But then we are putting a performance pressure on them. Now, if this is a very natural way in which we respond every time and the child is observing us, or whenever we interact with the child in every situation, if this is a consistent and repeated pattern of behavior, we are teaching the child two things. One, in each transaction, we are asking the child or training or making the child think of what are the things that could go wrong. And we are also making the child train their brains or their mind to think that the right way to approach any situation in life is to look for the red flags, is to look for what could go wrong address all of that, right? And then things will automatically fall in place. So this is a more of a problem focused mindset that we are creating in them, or we are cultivating in them, as against in the first place where it was a possibility oriented mindset where we are harnessing their natural abilities of exploratory tendencies and their curiosity. Children are naturally curious, naturally exploratory. So when we do that, not only are we teaching them to have fun, not only are we removing performance anxiety, not only are we making them think about what are the things that could make them enjoy the day, make it memorable, we are also subconsciously teaching them to harness their strengths of curiosity and exploratory nature. Now, as children grow, they build more capabilities. Some children could become very systematic. Some children could become very artistic. Some children can develop other faculties. So, when we constantly train our children to, or we encourage them to look for possibilities, they train their brains to not just look for possibilities, but also use all their capabilities, their faculties to look for possibilities and make things go well. But if we train them to look for all the red flags, they are constantly going to harness their ability to worry, harness their ability to be scared, to look at all those things that could go wrong, and that pushes them into the pit of despair, the state of chronic anxiety. Right, like I said, this need not happen only in childhood. Let's say I grow up in a good family, a healthy family where I'm always taught to think of possibilities, and I'm pushed in a very stressful environment. I could still develop the tendency to be anxious, but all these different experiences could actually keep it to a manageable level. But if that is not the case, I may not have the ability, or I might not have the strengths in me, or the ability, or the awareness in me to manage the anxiety, and it could go out of control. And hence, my appeal to the significant elders in the lives of children is to first train yourself to think, especially if you're given to being an anxious person yourself. Think about possibilities. It's called the art of possibilities for a reason. Think about possibilities, think about strengths, and then impart that tendency on your children so they can have a very beautiful life, a life where they always think of how things will be memorable and good, and how they can use their strengths as against worrying all the time. I hope this was useful. Thank you.